This is the third game, therefore third day. Every day there was one round. I was playing against the Woman Fide Master from Turkey. She had almost 2200 rating points. That's a lot, right? That's like almost Woman International Master level. I went there and I was like, okay, let's win. Oh good, everything will be fine. I did my mental ritual, which was like listening to songs that I like, hype songs. I like to be hyped up before games. Some people like to be calm before games. I could prepare against her, so that was good. I knew she played e4. I prepared my c5, knight c6, again accelerated dragon, g6, again, bam bam. Knight f6. This is still the opening. I'm not going to explain it too much. I castled. She played d4. She's hoping to maintain a nice center here. But this is still a chess mode opening. Again, you can see we did not use so much time. She played d4. And the theory here goes with d5, fighting for the center. I just cannot allow her to have two pawns crushing in the center. So, of course, I try to fight back. She played e5, normal move. This is also in the theory main line. I played knight e4, putting a knight in the center. She played bishop takes c6. Now she gives up on the bishop pair, but in exchange she is hoping for some weaknesses, because now I have doubled pawns, right? Here the theory goes with knight d2. That's what chessmood prepared me for. And she did play knight d2 based on her previous games that I saw in ChessBase. And then she casually plays bishop e3. Well, I remember the explanation from chessmood that this bishop is not a good bishop, right? Because it's on the same color as this pawn chain. Therefore, I don't want to exchange my bishop with this bishop. I didn't want to capture there because then pawn captures. And now suddenly I have a backward pawn over there on c6, rook c1, queen c2, and I didn't feel comfortable with that, and I know chessmood prepared me to be always cautious with capturing that. I also remember that now I have a semi-open file on the b file. She played queen c1, defending the pawn and potentially setting up bishop h6 kind of idea. I have space disadvantage. My bishop is dumb a bit looking at all these pawns here, so I really wanted to break the center, and I remembered similar moves. So I played f6, which was not a great idea. I should not have played this. She captured here after some thinking. I recaptured with the bishop because I thought my knight is doing well. Instead of f6, again, computer is pushing this c takes d4 idea, but again, I didn't want to have this backward pawn. Another idea is playing c4, which is maybe closer to my heart. Just trying to keep some squares here, keeping this b pawn a bit more back. Maybe I can line up against it. I played f6. She captured. I recaptured bishop takes f6. And now she just took my pawn. And I was like, now I have some nice squares here. So I played e5. I took my time a little bit if I should really play e5. But that was my whole idea, that she can't take on c5 because I'm controlling a lot of squares here with my pawns. These pawns should be fine. And it's a good position. She played knight bd2, normal move so far. I captured on d2 because where will my knight go, right? I cannot allow her to capture on d4, doubling up my e-pawns. That will be just terrible. So, of course, I captured, makes sense. Queen takes d2, and now I played bishop g4, trying to harass her here, and telling her, I'm planning on capturing that knight over there. What are you going to do? Because, you know, if she recaptures with the g-pawn, now her king will be weaker. e6 and f6 are weak now. Yes, also potentially c6. Also e5 is not the strongest piece, and my king is a bit in an exciting position, let's just say, but everything is fine so far. She played bishop h6, and here I was thinking, I said, it's either rook e8 and I play it immediately, or I capture here. Bishop takes f3, sacrificing the exchange. I'm ashamed of it. But I spent half an hour calculating bishop takes f3. I had a feeling it would work, but, you know, still it's an exchange sacrifice. So what I calculated is the following. Bishop takes. Now let's say she takes. If she recaptures, then that's great. I just play rook f7. I keep it on the f file, right? Previously, I can just play rook f7 because this is hanging, right? And that will be very sad. Because if this pawn falls, then the e file will open up and my king will say, oh no, please help me. What I was calculating is bishop takes, right? I thought, okay, queen takes, pawn takes. And now what? Now what do? We can pick up this pawn. Okay, I'm an exchange down. Opponent's king is a bit risky, although it's a bit questionable how I'm going to attack it, right? Because what can I do with this bishop? Maybe if it was on f4. That's when the idea came. What if the bishop was on f4 now? Even then it's not clear, because I'm not threatening checkmate. My opponent can still walk to f1, e2, d1 and run away. This bishop f4 idea came. I said, okay, what if instead of recapturing, I play bishop g5? This is not what happened in the game. This is just what was going on in my head. So first, let's say queen goes there. Now I can just capture here. She captures. Let's say I put a bishop in here. This is what I was calculating, and then queen here. But the thing is, white can abandon the h2 pawn and just live peacefully on the countryside instead. Here I was like, okay, this is not bad. Maybe I could even do this. But then I calculated, okay, where else can the queen go? To d3. Okay, but I was like, hey guys, but then I can just play bishop e4, attacking the queen. And once the queen moves away, I can just take here. Oh, good. But the problem is the queen won't move away, right? White will just say hello there. Rook takes. And now I can recapture, but now let's say takes, this bishop will stay in my face, bishop d6, and now suddenly, what are we doing here? My pawns are super weak in the middle. I cannot even occupy the b file anymore, and even if I do, there will be b3. So I have weaknesses, she doesn't. What do? I can have some fun with e3, but not for long, most likely. I mean, my pawns are still weak, and I am a pawn down, right? I didn't like this capture. Then I considered, okay, what happens if I play e4 instead? But again, it's a bit dubious. I calculated queen c2 in my head. Wow, this is the end. The end, that's what the computer says. Okay, what if I can't... Wait, okay, let's say I'm a brave person. Here, check. Okay, king goes to f1, makes sense. And e takes f, because now the pawn is holding some squares and the king wouldn't be able to survive for long. But instead she has queen a6, which is more aggressive. That would have been the best idea for white. And now there are problems here. And okay, I will pick this up. She will capture. And okay, if I take with this, it might look like this king is super weak. But okay, touch it. Bring a queen there. It will take some time until a queen says hi, right? And it's not impossible to defend against all of this. Let's say white is chill and captures on c6. Let's say I play queen f5 here, threatening to play this. But now white says, oh no, I'm nervous. Let's exchange queens. And what do you do now? Now after the queen exchange, this is just miserable. I'm an exchange down. I can resign right here on the spot. So I cannot bring my queen closer. But then, okay, you could say, but okay, what if we play queen f4? Same idea, but there is no queen exchange. White will say, who cares? Queen takes, check, check. No king moves away, whatever. And now white says, oh no, my king. Rook e4. I dare you to give that check. I dare you. Do it. Do it. And I am material down. And when it's such a complicated position, I don't think I want to be material down. So I was debating for like half an hour if I should capture there or not. And it was a big mistake. I was proud of myself for finding bishop takes f3, and keep it in mind that's the best idea here. So I played rook e8. I should have decided rook e8 much earlier. She played rook e3. I now played queen e7, which was a bad move. I was debating if I should take on f3 and giving up on my bishop pair. Keep in mind, the bishop pair is not such a big deal right now, because what do? So I should have taken, that would have been the best move. So I said, okay, let's play queen e7. Just waiting and see if I want to take there, queen e7. And I thought, okay, knight takes, no problem, bishop takes. And f4 is not possible, because right now we will play a beautiful move. Now, double exclamation mark, bishop d4. If queen takes, I take, and everything is fine. Same goes with pawn takes. Queen takes and GG. And the rook can't take my queen because I call the arbiter. It's illegal. Okay, so I thought, okay, nice. Come on, I can play queen e7. So I did see queen e5. I just forgot about one tiny little thing here. Knight takes e5 does work. Because after bishop takes, white won't play f4. White will say, you know what? Let's bring this here. And you say, okay, no problem, I can keep defending this bishop. You get out of the pin, but guess what? You don't get out of the pin, because you can play queen f6, but white will now say f4. And you want to play bishop d4? Now it doesn't work. Doesn't work because there is no threat on e3. And you move the bishop away, thinking, there is no pin. There was a pin. I played queen e7 and I was like, oh boy. I also had another idea. I thought, okay, since she can take there, now she has to do something with c5 because I'm threatening to take the c5 pawn. That was my whole idea, to take on c5. And I thought, okay, she would play b4, but now I thought, okay, at this point, I can take here. Now rook will take. Now e5, hello there. Rook will move away wherever, let's say here. And now I can just take on b4. And ha 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 ha. This is why I decided queen e7. I was so proud of myself. But again, it doesn't work because there is rook e1 and now there is no pin. And again, I miss rook e1. Now she played rook a e1 here, which was a miss, of course. I was a bit happy she didn't take on e5. Was nervous she would. Since something is happening on e5, now she is threatening to take there. I have to take this knight. There are no questions about that. She captured. And you again can take on c5 because f6 is hanging. I didn't want her to play b4. Yes, so I played a5, not allowing b4. She could have played b4 anyways. I thought b4, it's not a big deal because I will take, pawn takes, and now I will have e4, d4, and slowly I will start marching with these pawns. And I thought that would be fine. But I overestimated the power of these two pawns. She played bishop e3, going back, which wasn't a great move. She could have kept it there. I mean, why go back? Why go back? It's all right. Probably what she thought is that she will start attacking here. Probably she thought the same, that marching with my pawns will be dangerous for her, so she wanted to defend the c5, didn't want to play b4. I now played bishop g7. She played b3, not allowing me to do anything on the b file. Queen b7. I was just trying to be a little bit faster here. First of all, getting out of this potential pin here. Just trying to place my pieces. Just put my pieces. Make moves. That was my objective here because I was getting ridiculously low on time. So she played h4. Idea is attacking against my king, playing h5. And you know, suddenly these two pawns won't be two pawns anymore, but one pawn, and one pawn is not as good as two pawns are, right? I played rook e6, just preparing myself for h5. I thought maybe I would recapture with the rook. I will see. She played rook h3. I played rook b8, just potentially keeping this d4 threat in the air. You know, if I push, pawn takes, and there is a pin over there. She played h5. I played queen e7. She captured on g6, and here I wasn't sure how I should recapture, but in the end I decided, okay, rook takes, and obviously rook takes is a much better idea. I'm not sure why I thought about it. What was even thinking, considering h takes g6? No. Keep it there. And rook takes, worst king will go to h8, and now I also have a g file here. So I was happy again. She played b4 now, which was a mistake. I captured, she recaptured, and I was happy with these two pawns. I played queen d7, just wanted to get out of the rook's file and go here and also attack the rook, because now the g file is pinned. For this reason, she played king h1, and here I had 1 minute, 33 seconds, and I still need to make 12 moves. I played d4, trying to advance with my pawns. Bishop h6, trying to get rid of my defender. I didn't care about the thing in the word. I played queen d5, threatening checkmate. I knew she wouldn't blunder it, but the queen is more active there. It's also looking at that direction, supports e4 even better. And now she played f3, blocking my queen's diagonal. For a moment, I thought about playing e4, but it's not as easy as it seems. And I thought, okay, I can't advance here. I can't advance on the king side. I won't take that. I have 1 minute left. I have to make a move. D3 makes no sense. It will be just undefended. What about the queen side? My queen is looking there, like we said earlier. So why not rook a8? And unbelievably, this is Stockfish's first move. Everything else will lead to a worse position except for rook a8. I'm threatening to go from the other side. She played rook e2, not allowing me to capture there, obviously. I didn't want to exchange bishops because now I realize also this bishop doesn't have a home. Bishop f6 and now this bishop is dumb. What can it do? It blocks my king. She played rook h5, probably trying to harass me with some f4 kind of ideas, which I didn't like. So I got out of it, queen c4, and here she played bishop g5, which was a bad move. But I didn't find it why it was a bad move. I should have played d3. And the idea is, if this rook moves away, now I can capture here. Rook captures. And now I have this check. I'm winning the piece. Okay, let's say opponent sees this. Rook e4. Doesn't matter. Here, queen takes a2. Now queen can't take here, right? Because now we do win a piece. And the diagonal is defended. The rank is defended, the back rank is defended, everything is fine, and I'm a bishop up. And the opponent's king cannot claim to be a strong piece either, right? If she captures, I recapture, now this bishop is hanging, right? And she can say, okay, let's get rid of it. But now I say, how do you react to d2? So what can she do here? She can just move it away, because now I will also capture here, and my pawn is still a good piece. I'm suddenly a pawn up. These pieces are everything but harmonious. This is what I should have done, but okay, I had 1 minute to find this, and I didn't. So I played bishop g7. For me, it was a logical move. I didn't want to exchange the bishop, because in my mind, this bishop wasn't a great bishop. Mine was better because it's defending these beautiful pawns over there. And now she's also in low time. She's under 2 minutes. We still need 7 moves to reach the time control. She played here bishop e7. And I was like, hold on a moment. Probably she wanted to play bishop d6. And I was like, that cannot be good. If I go to f3, bishop d6 won't be doable, because if I come here, bishop here, I can just take this, pawn takes, and I pick up the rook. Again, computer says obviously move is d3, which makes sense in a way, but in my head, I disregarded every kind of pawn push, central pawn pushing at once, so I didn't even think about them. Which is a mistake, but okay, I was low on time. So we went back to f7. She went back to g5, which was a mistake. She should have gone back here. But now I have rook takes here, rook takes, and I take the rook, and suddenly I'm a pawn up, and this king is starting to become weaker than my king. And this bishop is also in a dubious position. Supposedly, she saw all this, so that's why she played bishop g5, but bishop g5 fails for another reason. Queen f5, because now this bishop is pinned, right? The rook is behind and there are problems. And I thought I will play maybe h6 in the next move, and the bishop cannot move away. If she moves the rook away, I just pick up the bishop. She played rook f2. Played h6 here, trying to win the bishop, and now she played g4. The idea of rook f2 was to defend f3, right? So I cannot capture there. So I played queen e6, keeping my queen here. She played bishop h4, moving it away. Yeah, makes sense. But now this bishop and rook are trapped, right? I mean, what are they doing there? They are not useful members of society, let's just say. I played rook a3. Probably it makes sense to bring it to the attack. Opponent's king is not doing very well. She played queen e2, and obviously I fast played rook e3. She played queen f1. I played e4. First, trying to break the system here, because these pawns are annoying. I want to enter. And I got very happy here because I was aware I was winning. And I had to calm myself down at that point, like, okay, Frigid, you know you are better, but calm down. You still need to win this. She played rook f5, makes sense, trying to bring the rook back to life, blocking my queen's diagonal. I played e takes f3. What else? Trying to weaken the opponent's position. She played queen h3, just trying to solve the situation here. And again, there are a couple of good moves that are winning. One is d3 again. One is queen e4. I played rook e4 here, just threatening to take that bishop, maybe with this, maybe with that rook, we will find out later. She captured on f3, and I captured with the e rook. Makes more sense, doubling up my rooks. She played bishop g3, I played queen d5, winning the rook, supporting a potential pawn push, threatening to take on g3, that's also an idea. King h2. And here for a moment I was like, oh shoot, did I mess this up? Because I thought now there could be rook f5 maybe, because my idea with queen d5 was also to play rook g5 and then rook h5, pinning the lady over there. And then I was calculating rook g5, rook 6 g5, and then I see this rook f5 idea. I was like, okay, rook f5, and now the problem is, if I take, then queen will take here, and now what? But then I realized that's okay, no problem. There is no problem with rook f5, because now I have rook takes g3. Taking the queen doesn't work because I take the queen, takes, and in the end I take with the rook and boom, 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 and soon we will have a new queen. And if I do this and she takes, now I just take here. And this is actually what happened in the game, and my opponent resigned here. I'm a piece up, I have an extra pawn, and this king still doesn't have insurance. Alright, so this was the third round, day 3.